Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Shout out to my kings and queens and my red pill army out there. Holla at your boy. Now, I got another spicy ass video for y'all today. Very impactful video. Okay? So just make sure y'all stay to the end of the video. Watch the other clips I got lined up after this. Okay? Very impactful stuff. So, what are we going to be talking about today, y'all? Wall Street bets and GameStop and how the stock market is fucking rigged. That shit is freaking rigged. That's right. Okay. So, what's happened over the last week? What's transpired? Essentially, you had these Wall Street hedge fund managers, okay? They were essentially rising up the stock of these GameStop stocks, okay? Or they created a short squeeze on it, which essentially was created a buyer's market for the GameStop stock, okay? And now, essentially, what all these Redditors have done off this forum on Reddit called Wall Street Bets, okay? These are a bunch of day traders, who, they like to play the game. They like to be involved, okay? And essentially, they flipped the game on its head, okay? They were the ones who created the short squeeze, which drove up the price for the GameStop stocks, okay? And the hedge fund managers, all these people on Wall Street, were gonna cash out from this. They were gonna cash out like they always do, and then leave the common man empty-handed. But the roles were reversed this time. They were reversed, okay? And the common man was up until Robinhood got into the picture. Now, if you don't know, Robinhood is a day trading app that you can get on your phone, okay? And essentially, it's kind of like Webull, where you can, manage your portfolio and day trade every day. Put money in, take money out, okay? And Robinhood, like the namesake says, okay, essentially, they were created to help you sort through all these different stocks and different, essentially these different stocks that were on the verge or that were very promising and had a lot of potential. Okay, and they helped you pick through these stocks by doing index stocks. Okay, by investing in index funds. Okay, so that's what this app does. But like I said, the namesake comes from Robinhood, which what did Robinhood do? Okay, he stole from the rich and gave to the poor. Okay, so when you sign up for this app, Robinhood, you think, oh man, I'm getting an advantage. I'm gonna be able to get through all these index funds and actually spread my portfolio and have my money in different stocks that are on the potential to have promise to blow up in the future, right? That's what you think it is. But then this Robinhood app essentially didn't allow all these day traders who were about to make a huge ass come up off these GameStop apps, or excuse me, off these GameStop stocks. They were gonna make a huge come up off that shit, and they didn't let these people goddamn trade it. Okay, they put a freeze on all these people's accounts who had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stock in GameStop. They wouldn't allow them to trade it. Okay, so this is what Wall Street does. Okay, they manipulate the market, they rig it so that way the common folk cannot get ahead. Okay, they can't win, and essentially what happened in this situation was the common man was winning because there was a hedge fund that essentially they're paying out hundreds of millions of dollars and they're essentially in the red and going broke now. And you got these hedge funds that are losing millions, bleeding millions of dollars out the wazoo right now. Melvin Capital, that's the biggest one that you're hearing about. Okay, they've lost millions to these day traders. All right, because of these goddamn short squeeze. This is the biggest short squeeze in the last 100 years. Okay, or at least in the last 25 years, maybe 100. I don't know. I had to get my information straight. But regardless, it's one of the biggest of all time. That's what we need to take away from this. And also what we need to take away from this is to see how much more the game is fucking rigged. This game is rigged, man. Okay? You saw with these elections, you saw how Trump has so many people supporting him and the lead up to the elections at his campaigns. And then you saw literally no support for Joe Biden, but then Joe Biden wins in almost a landslide at half of these states. So, that whole shit was just out of pocket. There's some fuckery. There's some messed up things going down with that. Okay? It wasn't all the way clean. It wasn't all the way straight. All right? We know how they playing, and they ain't playing fair. All right? They ain't playing right. And that's how they get down. That's why they're ahead. Okay? And I mean ahead as in the Democratic liberal left. And these Republicans who keep getting everything over on us people. All right? But this Wall Street short squeeze has to be something like an eye opener for us. It has to be like the wool being pulled over our eyes. Like, we have to be able to see. If they can manipulate the stock market like this, what else can they manipulate? Okay? What else can they dictate and influence where the common man, the everyday man, is crushed like a freaking ant. All right? So these are the sort of things we need to keep our eyes peeled for, all right? The degradation of our society is happening, and it's real, okay? This is just another step in the fall of our society, all right? We can't let this continue and go on, all right? And I know, y'all, the truth hurts, but it's all right. We're going to get through it, okay? We just need to keep our eyes open, all right? Our mouths closed, and always be listening, all right? I love y'all. The truth hurts, baby.
This is Occupy Wall Street, but playing with money.
An army of users from the social media platform Reddit is turning the stock market on its head in what The Verge is calling an online tug of war.
It's like a David versus Goliath story.
A group of folks on Reddit decided they were going to take down hedge funds that had been betting against the stock GameStop.
The graph of this stock looks insane.
And they're winning. Normally, cheap stocks like GameStop have soared nearly 700% in the past 2 weeks.
Everyone got rich.
To the moon.
Yeah. Many hands make for light work when it comes to boosting a stock, I guess.
My advice to the shorts, I'm not going to give any advice to the Wall Street Reddit crowd. They're making a lot of money. But my advice to the shorts, stop crowding to the same trades, leaving yourself open to this kind of action. You'll never know who Wall Street bets will target next.
My name's Lewis Spears. I'm a stand-up comedian from Australia who just started buying shares a couple of months ago. I failed high school as well. That means that I am the perfect amount of retarded to understand this very complex issue, and I'm going to explain it to you in simple terms. Now, you've probably seen this story everywhere. Multi-billion-dollar hedge fund Melvin Capital versus a bunch of dumb on a Reddit called Wall Street Bets. And somehow, the Reddit is winning. What are they fighting over, you may ask? GameStop. You know that company? It's basically EB Games, but in America and doing even worse. Maybe they should have a sale that goes on for 265,000 years and that'll fix them up. Or you could have a bunch of Reddit people fight over your stock price and that'll fix you up coincidentally somehow. So, before I start explaining technical terms in dumb ways, I want to be very clear. I have researched this issue and I have a bunch of sources linked in the description below. I also want to be very clear. I and the person who helped me research this, Kim Zealand both failed high school and have no idea what we're saying. So, if you think I'm wrong, you're probably right, and a fact check in the comments would be appreciated. However, I'm going to act like everything I'm saying is 100% fact and cannot be disputed, because let's be honest, I operate my life like most people. If it sounds true, it must be true. So, let's start at the beginning. Coronavirus impacts businesses everywhere, GameStop especially heavily. GameStop is a retail business. Basically, they have stores and they sell games to people, but no one really buys games in store because of COVID and because of the present situation we live in, which is the internet. Why would I go to GameStop when I can get it online? This means their value has plummeted down to, what was it? $4.06. That's the price GameStop was at before Reddit and the hedge funds got involved. So that's GameStop. Now I'm going to explain what a hedge fund is, specifically Melvin Capital. What is a hedge fund? A hedge fund is usually a multi-billion-dollar corporation that handles lots and lots and lots of money and invests it to make more money. And they are usually incredibly influential on the stock market to the point where if they invest in something, other people see that and then they start investing, the price goes up, then the hedge fund makes money, sometimes they'll sell that, and everyone who got in after them will get burned and lose money. This is pretty much the dictionary definition of the Wall Street bad guy. Billion-dollar corporations that can influence and swing the market depending on what they think it's going to do or what they want it to do. Clear? Now, on the other side of the coin, versing the educated billion-dollar corporations who have been winning at this game for literally lifetimes, you have self-described retards on a subreddit. And somehow, they're winning. Now that I've explained the players in this complex game, Melvin Capital, GameStop, and retards, let's talk about what has actually happened. You've probably seen all of the articles raving on about how crazy it is that GameStop's share price has gone from about $4.50 all the way up to $350 in a span of a few short weeks. Now, you might have the question, as I did, why is a stock price going to $350 bad for anyone? If the share price rises, how can there be a loser? Well, this is because Melvin Capital attempted to short GameStop's share price. Now, I need to explain shorting, which is a little bit complex, but I have Googled it, so that means naturally I understand everything about it, and I could never be wrong. But if I am, fact check me in the comments below. Shorting a stock is basically gambling. It is you going, I think that by this date, the price of this share will go down to here. And if you're correct or close, you make money. How do you make money? Well, if you thought the share market was imaginary, shorting is even more imaginary. In simple terms, I, a gorilla, borrow your banana, which is worth 10 stones, and immediately sell for 10 stones and promise everyone in tribe in 2 weeks I will buy banana again, no matter what price it is. You, original banana owner, think banana in 2 weeks gonna be worth 15 stones. Me, caveman, think it gonna be worth 5 stones in 2 weeks. If me correct, I buy again at 5 stones, but I sold for 10 stones. I give banana back and I have 5 extra stones. Now me rich. However, if price of banana in 2 weeks go to 15 stones, me have to buy anyway because I promised tribe of cavemen. So I buy for 15 stones after borrowing for 10 stones, me lose 5 stones.
Are we cavemen or gorillas?
Did I say cavemen or gorillas at the start of that take? It doesn't really matter. The point is stones. Now, obviously, there's a lot of anger floating around in this story. Anger at Melvin Capital, anger at hedge funds in general, basically anger targeted towards the top 1% of Wall Street billionaires. And it's a big reason for that is because of this shorting behavior. Now, because Melvin Capital and other hedge funds are so influential on the market, them shorting a stock, which is them basically predicting, I think a stock price is going to fall in this time period, that influences the market and makes everyone go, oh shit, the experts think that the price is going to drop, I should sell my stock, which makes the price drop, which makes Melvin Capital profit.
You got greedy, Martin.
And in the middle of these trades are the actual companies whose shares are being bought and sold. If a company's share price drops, they lose money. So, Melvin Capital saying that I think this business will be worth less often can and has in the past bankrupted a business based off nothing but pure speculation. This is where the anger at these hedge funds is coming from. If they short a business enough, it can literally bankrupt them through no fault of their own. Now, the worst example of this happening in recent history is the housing crisis. The global financial crisis was caused by a big hedge fund shorting the housing market. They said publicly and put billions of dollars on the line saying, we think the housing market is going to crash. Everyone saw that and went, oh shit, the housing market's going to crash. The experts are so confident that it is, they stand to make billions of dollars if it does. We need to sell everything. And then you got the GFC. This is where the anger against these hedge funds come from, and this is why the people on Reddit who call themselves retards really like the idea of bankrupting a hedge fund for fun, because the hedge funds have done it to us first. Right, so we've explained the players in the game, and we've explained what shorting is and why it can be lucrative for hedge funds and devastating for people and business owners everywhere. So let's talk about what's actually happened with GameStop so far. Melvin Capital decides to short GameStop, which is them publicly saying, we think that GameStop is going to go down, and we're so confident about it that no matter what price it is at by this date, we will buy it back, thinking that it will be lower than what they borrowed it for, thus making them a profit. So Wall Street Bets realized that if they could drive the price up to a certain point by the deadline, Melvin Capital has to buy it from them no matter what the price is. This resulted in literally millions and millions of regular people putting $20 in, putting $100 in, putting $10,000 in. Some people put millions of dollars on the line to drive the price of GameStop up, because collectively these millions of people who put together have more money than even the billionaire hedge funds. They realized that if they can get the price high enough, they win, because Melvin Capital has promised the world that no matter what the stock price is on this date, they must buy it. If you get the price high enough, Melvin has to buy it from you. You win. This plan of guaranteed money, combined with the economic fallout of the pandemic, how much people hate hedge fund billionaires, and just the general idea of it's kind of funny to make GameStop a meme, combined and just about immediately propelled GameStop's share price from $4.30 to $350. Now, Melvin Capital is suffering billions and billions and billions of dollars in losses. They've lost 30% of their money. Not 30% of the money they put onto GameStop, 30% of their money. In fact, this realization that Melvin Capital is going to have to buy back the shares they borrowed at $350 when they thought they were going to be worth $2 has resulted in them trying to bail themselves out. Another hedge fund business gave Melvin $2.75 billion in exchange for part of the company, thinking that would bail them out. The next day, the price of GameStop went up even more, and just from that day, after they got $2.7 million, they lost $3.2 billion. Now you might be thinking, hang on, this doesn't make sense. How can these people win if GameStop isn't really worth $350? Well, you are correct. However, Melvin Capital, again, has promised to buy them by a deadline no matter the price. So as long as the price is high by the time Melvin Capital has to buy them, the people on Reddit win. This plan by Wall Street Bets is quite literally so fucking stupid that it worked. The motto that is constantly referenced on Reddit explains this entire situation perfectly. We can stay retarded longer than they can stay solvent. As long as these people in Reddit keep doing the dumb decision of holding their stocks, buying more, and driving the price up, Melvin has to buy it at that stupid price. So that takes us to today, where during the filming of this video, Wall Street investors and billionaires and hedge funds are freaking out, along with the mainstream media that cover finance news, many of which are partly or wholly owned by some of these hedge fund billionaires. After losing billions and billions of dollars to the subreddit Wall Street Bets, Reddit has taken action and shut down the subreddit. They have temporarily made it private for reasons that aren't really explained. Coincidentally, in quotation marks, Discord at the same time also banned the Wall Street Bets Discord group from their servers, and specifically said that it had nothing to to do with their trading behavior, but because of the racism and harassment that was happening in there, okay, Discord, if that's your reason for shutting down the fucking server, why don't you get rid of your entire platform, bro? This type of trading, speculating about a business going up or down and acting accordingly with your friends and with other people, is exactly what these hedge funds have been doing for years, only this time they're the ones on the opposite end of the stick, so now they want to change the rules of the game that they invented. For some reason, when hedge funds and billionaires crash a housing market causing a global financial crisis, nothing happens and they're allowed to do similar things. But when the average person tries to capitalize on their willingness to try and tank a different business so that they can make money, apparently that's bad and we need to change the rules, because we can't have ordinary people making money when billionaires are losing it, can we? This game is so rigged against normal people like you or I that CEOs and people in charge of the share market are literally admitting publicly that they want to change the rules. So the CEO of NASDAQ, which is essentially the guy that controls the network that allows share trading to happen, has said he wants to pause GameStop shares from being bought or sold so that big investors can recalibrate their positions. I'm sorry, bro, you can't invent a game, start losing it, pause, change the rules, and then press play to fuck over regular people. This is the game that you wanted to play. You gotta finish it. And that's where we are today. As of recording, when trading is closed, it looks to me like these hedge fund owners and the people in control of the NASDAQ, the stock market, are trying to cheat and are trying to get around the situation that they have put themselves in by trying to stop regular people's ability to come together and communicate. So I think what's going to happen from here, this is pure speculation, I think this is going to end very unfairly for us, for the average person. I don't see this ending in a fair way. I don't see this ending in a way that it should end on paper. That's not me saying I think everyone who invested is going to lose a lot of money. I think most people who've done this earlier on are going to make a lot of money. I think there will be heaps and heaps of people who lose a lot of money, but I think that this is going to end in some unfair way, that if this didn't happen, if it was the other way around, it would have ended normally, where the billionaires would have profited and the people would have suffered, and then there would be no consequences. But because it's the other way around, I think they're going to try and cheat, and this is going to end unfairly. I think that this is going to make a lot of people move towards decentralized things and encrypted messaging services. I think that after this Reddit getting taken down and the Discord getting taken down, people are going to move to platforms like Signal, social media platforms that have less strict regulation, or maybe some kind of decentralized thing will emerge. And I think that things like cryptocurrency will also become a lot more popular because they're not really as controlled as shares on the stock market. But that's just me theorizing. I don't really know. I failed high school and I don't have a dime invested in GameStop. So